Good morning, good morning, good morning, and happy Thursday. We call it Friday Eve. We're at the end, almost to the end of another week. Oh my goodness, the children are excited because here in 757, tomorrow is their last day of school before they go for their winter break. Oh, what a difference a day makes. The temperature has dropped. It's about 20 degrees colder than it was yesterday because it was almost 70 when I got out the car. And it's about middle 40s today, this morning. But guess what? This is a day that the Lord has made. We are rejoicing and we are glad in it. Oh, but it's a beautiful morning here in the 757. You know, I'm Gigi. Come on and get your walk on. At least 1,000 steps, even if you have to do it inside or somewhere where it's warm. But that's encouraging you to walk, to walk, to walk, move, move, move. I hear, you know, the news almost every day, the benefits of walking and moving. So come on and walk with me. But I have an awesome gym nugget to share with you today. I'm going to tell y'all what. If you don't have the daily bread, even the little booklet like I have, there is an app. You can go to our daily bread and you can get your daily devotional even on your phones. It's awesome because sometimes I misplace my book and then I go to the app and they even have a audio. You know, a person is can you can hear it, the devotional. But what a great one today. Um, their title is God's view of us. And it's coming from Genesis, Genesis 1 through 10. But the verse that I want to concentrate on is verse 10 of Genesis 1. Because after God made everything, each day he turned around and he said, it was good. Verse 10 says, God called the dry ground land, and the gathered waters he called seas. And God saw that it was good. You know, my gym nugget is I see good from God. Signed God. I see good. You know, they were talking about in the devotional this morning how in 1968 was a challenging year. Okay, it was a war in Vietnam. There was racial violence. Kennedy had been assassinated. Martin Luther King Jr. had been assassinated. And when they were talking about going to the moon, you know, it was just one of those things that kind of seemed like a pipe dream, it says. But Apollo 8, they managed to launch a few days before Christmas. And from the spaceship, the New Year's Eve message. And I could imagine that was such a view for the astronauts to look at from space to see Earth. And they took a picture of it. And one of the astronauts, Frank Borman, he finished on that Christmas Eve as he was looking at the Earth from space. He said, and God saw that it was good. Oh my goodness, because God made us in his image. He spoke the word and made the earth, and he said everything is good. Now, sometimes when we look around now, it's hard with everything that's going on. Sometimes it's hard for us to find the good. But you know, God looks at us and he says, it's good. And just like in my Margaret Brown's clock song, I see good. It's almost like she's singing like what God is saying. I see good, but even if it doesn't line up good from the beginning, he can make it good. He will make it good. That's why he says, I see good. Oh my goodness. And that's why Jesus came. He saw good, and even when stuff was messed up, he came that we might be saved, that it would become good, and most of all, that we would be good. Oh my God. I see good. That's actually my song of the day. If you go to my Facebook page, the song of the day, Margaret Brown Clark. It's like God is saying, every time I look your way, I see good. And she goes on to sing, even when things don't line up the way they should. And Margaret says, she knows God is working. I know God is still working, and He's working to make it good. And guess what? To make us good. That's why He sent His Son. Oh my goodness, because He loved us so much. That's like I said, God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son. He sent His only begotten Son on whatever day it was, so we would be good. And I like the first, this last summary of this devotional, because it mentions for God so loved the world. And they said today, remember that God created you. He sees the good despite the sin and loves the you that He created. Oh, I love this. I love this. I love this. I see good. You know, I'm one of those people, and some people say I'm really upbeat and everything, and I try to see good in everything. You know, sometimes it's challenging. I'm telling you, sometimes it's challenging, but you know, it's just like when I was a counselor, and for those challenging students that I would have, you know, the first thing I would do, I would find something good before I laid the hammer on them. But I always found something good because there's something good in every one of God's creations. I don't care who they are or what they have done. God sees the good, and I try to see the good. You know, I like to see the glass half full rather than half empty. You know, I'm not naive to the fact that everything is not good. But you know what I remember from Romans 8:28? For all things work together for good to those that love the Lord and call according to His purpose. And like Margaret Brown says, although everything doesn't line up the way it should, I know God is still working, because, you know, you need to see into the future, as she says in the song. And in the future, I see good. I see good. And God sees good. He sees good. Might not be working out right now and looking good now. You might not even be good, but God, that's why He sent His Son, that we would be good. So I see good, signed by God. Signed by God. All right, all right, all right. It's Thursday, so that means you need to join Pastor James E. Gilmore Sr. tonight, 7 p.m. for life study. A word, he's going to bring a word that we need to apply and work and work it in our lives. Study to show thyself approved, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth, because God sees good. And we need to apply that word so we can continue. And even if we're not good right now, to become good. Amen. In His sight. Oh my goodness, because He sees good. He sees good. That's why He died. That's why God sent His Son, because He knew our potential, because we were created in His image, and everything He made is good. So, amen. I see good, signed by God. But don't forget, tune in 7 p.m. on Facebook Live and the Gem Nugget channel for life study. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know of some people in Africa that watches us, and by the time they watch us, it's about 1 or 2 in the morning. So those of us in the United States, you have no excuse. Tune on in and tune on in to life study. I just want to thank all of you. I see your comments. More and more of you are commenting on Walking 1K with Gigi, and I surely do appreciate it. And our goal, and certainly my goal every day, is to encourage, inspire, and instruct. Instruct. Again, I tell you, these daily bread devotionals, our daily bread. Like I said, if you don't have a little book like I have, go and check out the app. It'll truly bless you. Oh my goodness. So, oh yeah, it's cooler today than it was yesterday. Every time the wind blows, I can feel it. I can feel the coldness. But I'm gonna hurry up and finish up my walk. But don't forget, God sees good in you. Have a blessed day. Stay warm.